Welcome back to the monthly newscast.
We're still your host. I'm Clint Chamley.
I'm Colin Hunziker, and this month was interview month. We interviewed a lot of faculty members, students, and players for this month. And Clint, what time is it?
It's joke of the day time.
What's the joke?
My girlfriend just broke up with me for being too un-American. But honestly, I saw it coming from a kilometer away.
A kilometer? That's an un-American joke. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. That was funny. And with that phenomenal, amazing, hilarious joke, we're going to have Isaac come up here and talk about cross country this season.
Thanks, Colin and Clint, for that intro. I'm Isaac, and I'll talk about Clark County cross country at the state meet. Grace finished 9th individually. The girls' team finished 9th overall. And Ethan Nelson, the only guy from Clark County that went to the state meet, placed 29th. And next up, I'll interview Ethan and Grace. I'm here with Ethan, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions. What gives you inspiration?
My team is what gives me inspiration, and watching how they improve over time, and just really how I improve over time too.
All right. Who are your biggest supporters?
I would say my parents. If you've ever been to a cross-country meet, you've probably seen that the parents run just as much as the runners do.
Oh yeah. And why did you choose cross country?
Well, I thought it was cool back in middle school, but I'm still with it today, so I guess I just liked it.
All right. What does it take to make it state?
So to be in the state qualifier, you have to be top 30 at districts, which really would require like a time of 18 minutes roughly for a 5K.
All right. And are you happy with where you made it?
Yeah, I had two goals at state. One was to get under 18 minutes, and the other was to get in the top 50, and I blew both of those out of the water, so I was pretty happy with it.
And do you plan on doing anything with running in the future?
Yes, I've actually signed with a college already, Culver Stockton, and I plan to run cross country there as a collegiate athlete.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm here with Grace, and I'm going to ask her a couple questions. What gives you inspiration to run cross country?
I would say my biggest inspiration to run cross country is my oldest sister, Renee. She always ran cross country, so I kind of admire her and always look up to her.
All right. Who are your biggest supporters?
My biggest supporters are my parents. They come to every meet and are always just encourage me to do my best.
Why did you choose to run cross country?
I chose to run cross country, like I said, because my oldest sister ran, so I always looked up to her, and it's something that she enjoyed, so I figured I would as well.
What does it take to make it to state?
This year we had a super district, so it's a little different than past years, so we just have to get top 30. And for team-wise, you just have to get in the top 4 teams to qualify for state.
All right. Are you happy with where you made it?
I am happy with where I made it. I've been grateful enough to medal all 4 years, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And do you plan with doing anything with running in the future?
Yeah, I do plan on attending Missouri State University in Springfield to continue my cross-country and track career.
All right. Well, that's all the questions. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Clark County, it is I, Lucas James, and we are going to talk to you about some softball antics this year. On the preceding Saturday, Clark County won their district championship by a final score of 6-2, where on Wednesday, the 20th of October, they took on the eventual state champion Marceline Tigers, where they unfortunately fell to them 3-1. It was still a great season by the Lady Indians, and we are so proud of them as they won their first district championship since the year 1998. There were also some all-regional and all-state honors that we would like to get into as well. Center fielder Allison Fox, who had a batting average of .398 and stole 24 bags, got it for the all-region team, as well as junior third baseman Olivia Miller. And the biggest news of all was senior catcher Allie Hayden got a state honor. She was on the all-state team, which is a very, very big deal. She had 3 home runs, a .444 average, and an OPS well over 1,000, and it's a big congratulations to her. Clark County had an amazing softball season this year, and we would really like to see if they can continue this success into next year. And now Campbell will talk to you about some cheerleading.
Thank you for that intro, Lucas, and great job to the Clark County softball girls with their spectacular season. The Clark County cheerleading squad has also had a very full semester. We have put on the Clark County Senior Night for fall sports, and we have put on the homecoming festivities. And we're going to be putting on the Clark County Senior Night for the basketball season. I'm going to be interviewing seniors Annalise Smith and Haley Ray on these activities. I'm here with Haley Ray. Now, Haley, how many years have you been cheering?
I've been cheering for 3 years, and this will be my 5th season on the squad.
Wow. So why do you cheer?
I cheer because I have something to do after school. I enjoy it. I love supporting my high school, and I really love the girls on the cheer squad, and I make really good friendships and relationships.
That's so great. So what do the cheerleaders do for senior night?
We usually get the parents lined up to walk their children out on the field. We get their tomahawks painted and get them ready for all the senior students. We get the flowers for the moms, and that's pretty much it.
Wow, you guys do a lot for senior night.
Yeah, we do.
So what does the usual practice look like for the cheerleaders?
During football season, we are usually in the commons or the gym doing cheers and stunts. And then during basketball season, we do stunts in the gym, pretty much the same thing as football season, but unless the gym is taken up by the basketball boys or girls, we are in the commons doing cheers and dominating.
Well, everyone, this is cheer captain Haley Ray. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Campbell James.
I am here with Annalise Smith. She is a senior and captain of the cheer squad. So Annalise, how long have you been cheering?
I've been cheering for 5 years, including middle school.
Why do you cheer?
I cheer to be a part of the team. They're so nice, and it just feels like you're a part of a family.
So what do the cheerleaders do for homecoming?
We do a lot for homecoming. Homecoming is our busiest day of the year. We decorate for the dance, we make all the decorations, and we buy the tiara and we buy the sashes for the court.
Wow. So what is your favorite part of cheerleading?
My favorite part has to be probably stunting. I love stunting and I love trying new things.
Thank you, Annalise, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Cameron, and today I will be interviewing Annalise Smith, a senior dance captain, and we will be talking about their busy season ahead. Hey Annalise, thanks for stopping by for an interview.
Thanks.
So I was wondering, who are your captains?
Our captains this year are myself and Avery Smith.
How do you become a captain?
Being a captain is just being there for your team and just being very dedicated.
So how do you choose a captain?
Anne, our coach, chooses the captains for the dance season.
And you said you had 2 this year?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So your coach?
Yeah, our coach is Ann Dever. She teaches at the elementary school.
It's really cool. How do you create your dances?
Well, we don't really have a set way to create our dances. Sometimes we look off YouTube videos or go off past dances. It's just really whatever.
A lot of creativity, I bet, goes into it.
Yeah.
How often do you practice?
We practice 3 days a week, normally 3:30 to 5:30.
Keeps you busy, I bet.
Yeah.
All right. What gives you inspiration?
What gives me inspiration is when we're dancing, when you look at the crowd and there's just little girls in their seats dancing in their spot, and it's just gives you a really happy feeling.
Yeah. Did you grow up being one of those little girls?
Maybe.
We're excited to see what you have come up with this season, and thank you for your time, and good luck to you and the squad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you, Eleanor. The Clark County esports team had an amazing fall season. Here's Logan Malone with an interview with their coach, Mr. Taylor.
Okay, so what does an average esports practice tend to look like?
Well, it varies from one game to another. A lot of the times I really just encourage the students just to get out there and play. A lot of the students have really done a lot of the work on their own as far as learning the mechanics of the game, and so there's not a whole lot that I have to do in that regard. So one of the biggest things we just work on is playing together as a team and working on communication.
Okay, so I already know that during this season you guys did Overwatch and Rocket League. So what's next season this game's going to look like?
Well, starting in January, we'll start up our spring season, and that includes Super Smash Brothers. And then we're looking at League of Legends and Valorant. kind of leaning toward League of Legends at this point, just because that's a pretty popular one in the collegiate scene, and we want to see esports be a good bridge to get students into colleges and scholarships to play in college.
Okay. So I know you guys do stream your games, but what is typically the best way to get about watching these streams?
Well, you can find our stream at twitch.tv/Indians_gaming. We also have an Indians Gaming YouTube channel where we do take our Twitch streams and download them and post them so that they don't disappear.
Okay. How would somebody go about joining the team?
They just really need to talk to me. So we're going to have registration for the spring season coming up probably in December. We'll look at getting students registered for Smash Brothers and or League of Legends. And again, Valorant is on the table, but I'm not entirely sure I'm going to put a ton of effort into Valorant this year, but I've got some students who are interested. So if I've got students who want to play, we could probably do that in a less official capacity.
Okay. What was the best part about your Rocket League season this year?
Really just watching the team communicate. We had a group of guys who hadn't played together a whole lot. So at the beginning of the school year, again, individually they were fantastic, but working on becoming a more cohesive team, working on their communication, and then just getting that rotation worked out, making their call-outs and seeing them really start to flow and mesh as a team. That was really exciting to watch, and you could definitely tell a difference in the gameplay as they got that down.
Okay, so I know that Overwatch and Rocket League both have great seasons this year.
Oh, absolutely.
And so more about the Overwatch team, maybe, how they did too?
Yeah, the Overwatch team did really well. Again, it's a bigger team, and there's a little, I feel like the competition for Overwatch is pretty stiff as well. Really, Overwatch and Rocket League, both the competition is really stiff, but the Overwatch team, we have several people who stepped up and really became leaders this year, acted as leaders. We found that really, really helpful. Some hiccups always here and there, but as a team, watching them work together and thrive was really exciting. We had one really great match against the Maplewood Richmond ver team where we went actually 6 maps rather than the normal 5. You're supposed to play five rounds, and we ended up having to go 6 because we were so closely matched, and it was about a 2.5-hour game. But it was a really just exciting match, and we didn't unfortunately win that one. But it's rare that you see a team who's worked so hard and put all that time and effort in, and still at the end of these 2.5 hours, everybody's laughing and just having a great time, because that's the nature of the game and really the nature of my players and the team. Just really good-natured folks.
Is there anything you think you could do better next season for Overwatch and Rocket League both?
Well, I think me as a coach, I can probably do better. I just try to have a bit more well planned out practices, maybe work on mechanics a little bit. We're going to have, Overwatch especially, we're going to have a much younger team. About 5 of my 6 players are seniors, and so I've only got a couple spots where I've got people ready to kind of still be on varsity who played this year. And so we're going to have a pretty young team. We've got a lot of building to do as far as that goes. Rocket League, thankfully, we've got several strong students who are going to be returning for us next year, so that's going to be really good. But, trying to work out practices so we can build up those newer players a little bit more. That was something that we did not do particularly well this year. I should say I did not do particularly well this year, and I'd really like to make a change and improve on that.
Okay. Well, thank you for this interview. It's been great.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have a really great season next year as well.
Hey, thank you.
And good luck to you guys.
Yeah,
thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Definitely an amazing season. Any closing remarks, Logan?
I'd like to say a definite huge thank you to Mr. Taylor for letting me conduct that interview. It was an awesome interview, and I definitely best of luck to next season. I hope you guys have just as good as a season as you did this year.
Clark County brought in 4 new coaches to the basketball coaching staff. The first was Coach Dent. He is the health and PE teacher and the online instructor.
The second coach was Coach Klass, who is the fitness coach, the defensive coordinator for the varsity football team, and the JV coach for the men's basketball team.
The third is Coach Bensbacher. She's the varsity girls head coach and a secretary at Ford Motor Company.
The last coach is Coach Mack, who is the PE coach for the middle school, Blackhawk, and Running Fox.
Thank you, Brian and Tristan, for introducing the basketball teams. I'm Heaton Sturm, and I will be interviewing Coach Cameron Mack of the girls JV basketball team. Hi, I'm Heaton Sturm, here with Coach Cameron Mack of the girls JV basketball, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions about the team. What really motivated you into coaching for the JV girls?
So I graduated from here And when I started college and got into coaching, I really wanted to come back and coach for this school because I want to represent our community well. So I'm a highly motivated guy. I'm going to put all my effort into this team, and hopefully we're successful.
Okay. How do you think the team's looking this year, Coach?
It's looking good. We have a lot of good pieces on the court. So we have a lot of good guards that can handle the ball, bring it up the court, pass it to our post, we can finish around the rim. I want to play a lot of good defense. So the girls are going to have to play good defense. I think a well defensive team is going to lead to good offense or easier offense, and that's what our team's going to look like.
Good. How are you going to prepare for the team for their first game?
For the first game, okay, we're going to have a lot of practice leading up to the first game. I'm going to be a high energy guy. I'm going to ask them to play hard because, I mean, if you play hard, a lot of good things are going to happen, but practice makes perfect, so we're going to practice a lot.
Sounds good. And what else do you coach?
So I coached middle school softball this year. That was an experience. Now I'm doing 7th grade boys basketball and JV girls basketball at the same time. And then I'm going to be the head varsity golf coach in the spring. That's all my coaching endeavors this year.
Okay. Well, thank you for the interview.
Welcome.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Heaton and Coach Mack, for that interview. Now we're going to move on where I interview our first-year varsity head coach for girls basketball, Danessa Bensbacher, with our special guest, Mr. Warsick. I'm here with Coach Bensbacher, and I'm going to ask her some questions real quick. My first question is, why did you become a coach?
I just enjoy the game, and I enjoy the girls, and just want to keep the tradition and just the sport alive in the community.
Yeah. My second one, how have you prepared the team for the first game on the 23rd?
We've ran a lot, if you ask them, but just ran through typical offenses, but we're definitely going to run and get in shape and try to run others off the floor.
That's good. Third question, what interests you more, offense or defense?
I'm definitely a defense person.
Clark
County is kind of a defense community, so we just try to run and get our offense off of our defense, I guess, let it feed off of it.
Give me a fun fact about you.
I don't do much besides sports, I guess. I take my kids to sporting events, so that's about all I get to do.
Yeah. Well, what do you do off the court?
Off the court, just hang out with family, go to church, shop.
What's something as a team that we have that others don't?
I think we have a big tradition in this community in most of our sports, but I don't think other communities have a lot of that. So, I mean, it's something the girls should be proud of and the community should be proud of.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ian and Coach Bensbacher, for that amazing interview. I had the honor of interviewing the new fitness coach and JV boys basketball coach, Coach Class. I'm here with Coach Class today for an interview. So first question, what got you into coaching in the first place?
I'd have to say my father, because he was my first coach, and then those experiences I had with him, my uncle, and a couple other family members that are into it. So I guess family overall.
Why did you choose to come to Clark County?
So I've known about Clark for, let's see, about 8 to 10 years. Always had a great experience, always thought it was phenomenal facilities. The kids are great, the coaches were great. Had a mentor reach out, send me the opening, said, hey, you should really look into this, it'd be great for your career. And I got up here and I interviewed and met Mr. Church, Mr. Harper, Coach Allen, and after that it was an easy choice. It was just an awesome experience.
So, what were your first impressions of Clark County?
Like I said, I knew the facilities are great. I knew the kids had to work hard. There's no way that you can be as successful as you guys had been without some hard work. And so the dedication, the commitment from the kids, the community, the stands are full on Fridays. The kids were here in the summer, just great attendance. It was just phenomenal.
So what makes this Clark County JV basketball team different or special in a way?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I would say the work ethic. I mean, how hard, especially these freshmen and the sophomores that will be on that team have been exceptional, something that I haven't seen before. But I would also say the level of athletes. Almost every kid plays some other sport. And so that allows you to do a lot of different things defensively. And I would say, thanks to our intensity in practice, you'll see a very aggressive team when it comes to the court.
So, what do you expect out of the JV team this year?
I just kind of talk about, I'd say aggression would be one thing, which will lead to hopefully great defense and some fast-paced play, getting up and down the court, causing turnovers, running teams until they're, tired, and we're going to be standing there like it's no big deal for us.
So how would you describe your coaching style with basketball?
With basketball, probably a little more laid back than with football. A little bit different environment, but kind of like to let the game come to the kids, especially doing JV. You got to let kids learn how to play, find their role. So kind of sit back and kind of let them just grow. So a little more laid back than football, whereas doing varsity football, it's now, it's time to go. Or JV, we can make mistakes and we can learn from it.
All right, last question, and the most important one, the one everybody's dying to know. How tall are you?
I hate you. 5'9".
And thank you, Clint, for that interview. Coach Class, that was great. But for my interview, this is my guy right here, Coach Dent. I mean, look at him pulling a 3 on this poor kid's head. Laser focus. That's one of his favorite sayings he uses now. And with that being said, let's get on into the interview. All right, so Coach Dent, as a player, we don't really get to talk to our coaches much about personal things. So during this interview, these are just kind of things we wonder about you.
Excellent.
So coming to Clark County, what's the best thing about coaching here so far?
There's a long list of good things that I could put at the top of the, if I was making a list. The number one thing right now, I think, is the relationships, and I think the relationships that I've been able to form with my players so far have been really good. The kids here so far have been really responsive to hard work. They don't shy away from it. So that is obviously for me at the top of the list. I think as a coach, the relationships you have with your players are the ones that are really important, and they're the ones that you don't forget. The second thing I'll mention there is just the relationship I've been able to form with the other coaches here and the administrators. I've known them for years and never got to work with them yet, quite like in this situation, and that's been splendid thus far.
That's good to hear. I mean, the basketball players here, we all get along really well. It's always fun. Practices are great. But what's the worst thing about it so far? It doesn't have to be awful, but
the worst thing for me as a coach that I experience is probably the pain that I have to see guys go through. I remember as a player, I know how bad it hurts, especially when you're training hard. And when I see guys struggling, and maybe when it's days we're working really hard, and I can see that fatigue set in, and guys are getting weary and a little tired, but I got to push you to that next level. That doesn't feel very good, but I know it has to be done in order for you to blossom. So probably that's the worst thing, and I've seen that within football practice and basketball here lately.
All right, and I just recently learned that you went to college to play football, and now you're a high school basketball coach. Why? Why did you go from college football to high school basketball?
Well, football was always the funnest sport for me to play. I excelled at basketball. I was a little better basketball player than I was a football player in terms of accolades, I guess, at the high school level. But football was always just it was a lot funner sport, more fun sport to play. And you as a football player probably understand there's nothing like strapping it up and going out there. And I think I wanted to prove that I could play at the college level to myself, not really anybody else. But I didn't think that I needed to really play college basketball to understand how to coach the game, because just from the experiences I had with coaches in high school. But the sport itself was just it was a lot of fun. I think the camaraderie that you experience, and kind of like I touched on earlier about the sacrifice, the pain you go through as an athlete in football. It's trying, and it tests your ability to stay in a good mood and treat everybody well when things aren't going good.
All right, and for the last question, as a coach here, as a teacher here, what are your goals?
The first goal that I ultimately have is to, it's not related to winning. It's to help the young men that I'm able to coach, mature into to grown men and learn how to make good decisions that not only affect themselves, their team, but their families. To be good people, and secondly, academically comes after that. I take there's a high price I have for being able to be an athlete and also maintain grades, and that's one of the toughest things I think is people that aren't athletes. don't understand how hard it is when you got a game at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock, you don't get home till 10, you still got to study for that biology test.
Yeah.
It's tough, and it pulls a little bit out of you, and then you have to answer, your coaches the next day once you in practice. So making sure that guys understand that academics comes first, and it ultimately allows you to be on the court or on the field. And then the third goal for me is to, take this program and help you guys learn how to win, not only together as a team. I think a lot of times people think they got to have outstanding, just great players, really tall guys that are going maybe to play college D1 to be really good, but really it just takes 5 guys at a time in a squad with about 10 to 12 to get done a lot of things. So teach guys how to win, work together to win, and ultimately make a push for the postseason and experience what that tastes like.
All right. Thank you for your time, sir.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you, Colin and Coach Dent, for that interview. I'm going to be interviewing 2 leaders of the girls and boys basketball team, Carter Briscoe and Allie Hayden. Hey guys, I'm here with Carter Briscoe, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. The first one I have is, how do you feel about, what does it mean to you to be a leader of the basketball team?
It means a lot. I look forward to the challenge, and I can help any of the younger guys with any questions they have. I think I'm ready for it.
What have you improved on personally in the off-season?
Personally, during the off-season, I've been putting a lot of work on my ball handling, getting a lot of shots up, some running, conditioning, stuff like that.
Yep. What kinds of things can you teach the underclassmen who look up to you?
It's like a family, it really is. Somebody falls down, help them up, always be there for your teammates. That's all it comes down to.
Who did you look up to when you were a freshman?
Freshman year, definitely looked up to Brandon Kratt. He was a pretty cool guy. He was a leader for sure. Everybody looked up to him. Can only hope to do that.
What have you learned from Brandon that you can teach younger players?
Just be there for each other. Like I said, if a teammate falls down, run to him, help him up. Even if you're on the bench, not getting very many minutes, hype your guys up. We're all a team. We're on this together.
What can we expect out of this team this year?
Hopefully a winning season. A lot better than last year's the goal, Build off of last year, learn what we did wrong, and get some stuff right.
How do you think the season's going to go with a new coach and offense?
I love Coach Dent's new offense. It's a read and react. It gives players so much freedom. We're learning how to react to different situations instead of being mindless robots to point A to point B. I think that'll work great for us.
What do you consider the most important thing in a team?
Chemistry, 100%. If we're there for each other, we're going to have a good season. That's all it comes down to. And holding each other accountable, If you're getting half the reps in, not putting full effort, you can't have that to have a good team. You got to be there for each other, and you got to push each other to be the best.
The last question I have for you, when are you going to throw down your first dunk?
November 23rd, be there, Scotland County.
All right, Carter, thanks for coming, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to do it.
All right, thanks for doing this interview with me. Congrats on the softball season, getting All-State.
Thank you. I'm excited to get into basketball, and yeah.
All right, I have some questions for you. How do you feel being one of the leaders on the basketball team?
It's very exciting. I love having the role of the leader and being able to know how to take charge and how to lead my team.
What kinds of things can you teach the underclassmen that look up to you?
I can teach them to hustle and work hard and never think that they're just going to have something given to them.
What have you learned from your freshman season to help you prepare for your final season?
Yeah, so when I was a freshman, I kind of I was there, but I really wasn't there to work hard. But not playing the last 2 years, I have really came into this season, my senior season, with the mentality to work hard and play with a winning mindset.
Who did you look up to in your freshman season?
I definitely looked up even to the sophomores and just anyone older than me, because they knew what they were doing and I really wasn't prepared.
What have you learned from the people you looked up to that you can teach younger players?
I learned that like if you work hard, then you might get like a higher position on the team than you would have thought, because some people just take things for granted and just go through the motions.
How do you think this season's going to go with the new coach? And do you like the new coach?
I'm really excited to have Coach Bensbacher. She is an awesome coach, and I just think that every new coach has their pros and cons, but I think it'll be a great season.
What do you consider important in a team?
What I consider important is everyone working as a team, and obviously it's not a one-person sport, so everyone contributing in their own ways.
All right, that's all I have for you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Isaac, now we'll be moving on to Thanksgiving break. For a lot of people, this is the first normal Thanksgiving due to COVID. For us students, Thanksgiving break is from the 24th through the 26th, and Thanksgiving is on the 25th. So that Friday is actually Black Friday, so we will be getting good deals on Thanksgiving foods.
Thank you, Matthew, for that, and make sure everyone spends a nice Thanksgiving holiday and travel safely. Now it is time for your monthly teacher interview segment. This is really cool. This is something that we are now introducing into our monthly podcast, where we will be interviewing a teacher who is not really a coach of anything, just to give, some teachers who aren't necessarily in the spotlight of leading our sports teams, but they also do a lot in the school district as well. And now I am here with Mr. Reardon. Mr. Reardon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Lucas.
That is great. I'll be asking you a couple questions, just so students who haven't had you yet, just get to know about what you kind of do around here, and also, just some students who've already had you, just to get a little more knowledge about the things you do. All right, so that's a good transition into starting. What do you do? What do you teach?
Oh, I teach various social science courses here at Clark County High School. Currently, I teach government class, which is taken mostly by the juniors. I teach a college history class through Moberly Area Community College that is mostly for our seniors. I also have some courses that are open to students of all levels, such as geography and contemporary issues.
Yes, I also take a couple of those classes myself. I gotta say, he is very exceptional at his job. Now, are there any extracurriculars that you're involved in around the school?
Well, as a matter of fact, there are. I am the sponsor of the National Honor Society, which works with some exceptionally talented juniors and seniors, and I'm also the coach of the Scholar Bowl team here at Clark County.
Nice. Make sure you keep your grades up. You can join him in the National Honor Society, and if you want to test your knowledge on the Scholar Bowl team, then you can certainly do that. Trying out, I believe, at the time this video goes up, I believe tryouts would have already started, but I'm sure he'd be welcome to have you if you are wanting to try out yourself, because the season doesn't start until January. Now, Mr. Reardon, how long have you been teaching here?
This is my 24th year at Clark County High School.
How would you rate your overall experience at Clark County?
Outstanding. I've worked with some excellent young men and women over the last 2.5 decades. I've really enjoyed the time that I've spent here in Clark County. No regrets.
And also, what is your favorite item menu selection for lunch?
Ooh, the cheese and chicken quesadillas are pretty solid choices right now.
I have government with him, and we eat in the classroom. I think he listened to me. That's good. Also, if you do not get the chicken and cheese quesadillas, I recommend it. It's absolutely amazing. It's truly elite. It's better than Taco Bell.
Yeah. The taco salads are highly underrated this year as well. I definitely put in a plug for those.
Some people, especially since a lot of people, obviously you're going to school, you're a young kid. You look. Are there any closing remarks you would like to make? Anything you want to say to the people of the newscast that are watching?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to work here for the last 2.5 decades. It's been an excellent experience. I look forward to those of you that will be coming up in the next few years. And thank you, Mr. James, for your interview today.
I would like to thank you as well for taking time out of your day to do this, because he did not have to do this, but he stepped up. He came in clutch. He's like Michael Jordan with the clock winding down. Now, this will pretty much conclude this monthly teacher interview. For next month, which will be December, we will be interviewing Mrs. Kemper. I'm sure she's excited for that. And now we're going to send it down to Campbell.
This newscast is spotlighting a new organization every month. This month's organization is FCCLA, which is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. This organization is sponsored by Ms. Tappendorf, who I'll be interviewing next. What is FCCLA?
FCCLA is Family and Career Community Leaders of America. So we're an organization that does a lot of community service projects. Everything is community based.
What are some of the projects that you guys do each year?
We just finished up with our Veterans Day Assembly. That's our biggest project of the year. December's coming. We will be doing our Angel Tree project. And then we are currently doing a coffee bar every Friday morning where we're selling coffee and raising money to do a scholarship at the end of the school year.
About how many people are in FCCLA?
We currently have approximately 30 members that have joined this school year.
So what else would a student want to know about FCCLA?
If somebody would want to know any more information, the biggest question that I'm usually asked is, how can I join? So joining is something that is done at the beginning of the school year. People will pay dues. If you would like to be actively involved, but you did not pay dues at the beginning of the school year, that's okay. You can still help out with different projects. You just wouldn't be able to compete at the end of the school year whenever we go to competitions.
And here's some quick reminders. FFA fruit sales will be here December 8th. Don't forget to collect money from customers and check out with an officer after every collection of fruit. Band cookie dough sales are now till December 1st. Don't forget to see any band members for cookie dough sales. Holiday break will be from December 22nd to January 3rd. Enjoy your break.
Hi, it is I, Marcus Von Note, here to teach you guys about the fine arts of music. And today we got this lovely keyboard here that I'm going to teach you guys how to play. And ready? 3, 2, 1. You know what? Let's just not focus on that song for now. We've messed up that song way too many times. Let's just try a different song, why don't we? What's the point? Look, audience, my school's just been working me to death. I'm so tired and just everything's just paper! There is a scavenger hunt, as you've heard. You'll find your first clue where you've read about the mockingbird. Let's go ahead and talk about this scavenger hunt, why don't we? There are many clues hidden throughout the school, but wait. What does these clues absolutely lead you to? I don't know. I'm just the funny guy. I don't know. You'll have to find out for yourself.
And with that being said, we just want to give thanks to everyone that participated in this month's newscast.
And good luck to all the teams participating in the upcoming month.
And that's all. Thank you for tuning in for this month's newscast.